Our partners at Arizona Sports have been talking about the Coyotes relocating for a while. And I have to tell you, it's been a little challenging for us to determine what is rumor and speculation versus what is actually happening. So we thought we would call in one of the experts. They were unavailable. So we grabbed radio's Luke Lapinski of the Wolf and Luke Show on Arizona Sports 98.7. And I think it's fair off air. We were giving each other a hard time here. So it's great to have you in the studio, my friend. Thank you so much.
Worried when you said expert that somebody else was coming in. So this would have been awkward.
So speculation and rumor about the team possibly going to Salt Lake City, right? So give me the lowdown on this for reals. Where are we on that whole debate, I suppose?
It depends who you talk to. I'll through this whole process, which has now been like 14 years.
Yeah.
My consistent stance has been, as long as the NHL wants the team here, it's going to be here. And I mean, it's been that way for a long time. That's a little clouded right now in terms of, like, does the NHL want hockey here? Yes, but there's talk that might be in the form of an expansion team in a couple years, which, look, great. If you can do it, that's great. But, I mean, I grew up in Seattle where they're still giving the Sonics back as an expansion team. It's been 17 years, so I'm not holding my breath for something like that.
Great point that you make there. So who's saying maybe an expansion team? Is that just people saying that, or is the league floating is there a leak on the expansion team idea, or is that conjured out of nowhere?
I don't think it's conjured out of nowhere, but the league is maybe intelligently not commenting on anything. But in the past, they've been very adamant of, like, no, this is getting done. So it's weird from my perspective for a lot of reasons, but one of them is I feel like behind the scenes, the situation has been a lot worse in the past with previous ownership. I mean, 10, 12 years ago, the league was running the team.
Right.
Now you've got an owner with money. The team's getting better. There's a chance that they're getting their land up the street in 2.5 months. So I'm not going to say confused, but I just don't fully understand why this is happening now.
Talking with Luke Lapinski from Arizona Sports 98.7, co-host of the Wolf and Luke Show on just before ours, 10 till 2 over on 98.7. So 3 options for the Coyotes as I've seen them. Help me with some percentages as you see best.
Okay.
Option number 1, sell the team outright. How likely?
Can we pool our money in here right now? That's actually why I'm here, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Do we want to buy a team?
Yeah.
This would be a good time for us to buy a team.
I've got about $60 in my wallet.
All right.
In
You're going to
seriousness,
be a minority owner.
Do you think that they're undervalued right now?
No, I just think it'd be a good time for us to buy a team so that I don't have to worry about them leaving.
That's a good idea.
So option 2, relocate temporarily to a suitable arena. That would be Salt Lake City, presumably, and then come back at some point.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they would leave and come back. Are you counting expansion in that option?
No.
So, I mean, a suitable arena would be like a different. Are they talking about like Glendale or like Veterans downtown? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, look, I will say this before you go to option 3. I love the games at Mullet Arena. Went to ASU. The arena's great. It's obviously not like a permanent solution.
We should point out you work for the team as well, so you're down there often.
Yeah. I understand that's not a permanent solution, having a college arena for an NHL team, and that's where part of this is coming from. But like downtown at Veterans Memorial College, that would have, if they could have renovated that might have been the perfect solution 2 years ago.
And then option 3 is sell the team and have the option of returning to the league as an expansion squad down the road. So sell the team, Salt Lake City, the Coyotes can change the name, keep the name, whatever, and then 3 years down the road, Arizona gets a brand new team.
Yeah, I'm sure there is a significant percentage on that. I just think there's problems with that. And one of them I know that nobody else really cares about. But if you're a Coyotes fan, you've suffered through a lot of vitriol online from people in other markets that have nothing to do with this, that are just celebrating you potentially losing your team for 15 years. But you've also suffered through some lean years on the ice. They're actually getting good now. Like, they actually have legitimate young talent. This isn't like some, hey, let's sell this product, obviously, because the product might not be here in a couple weeks. Right. They have legitimate good young players. It's messed up that after waiting for all this, that they would go play and really turn into a good team somewhere else in a market that hasn't suffered at all for this. So to answer your question, I'm not holding my breath on expansion. I think it's a legitimate option if they really do relocate. I don't think that's like a lie. I'm just not holding my breath on it.
Luke Lapinski from Arizona Sports and 98.7. Great to have you with us talking about the idea that the Coyotes may be leaving. We've seen a bunch of different headlines, a lot of rumor, a lot of speculation. What do you suppose is the timeline of this? How long are we going to have to wait before we know what the NHL might be willing to do?
So this is where it gets a little murky to me. There's a belief out there that this is all going to get announced like next week, which is, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would be a little strange for me for the NHL to do that right as their playoffs are starting and kind of steal thunder from themselves. But maybe they're ashamed of this happening. If this is kind of a failure on the NHL's part, if a team has to relocate, so then maybe they want to bury it under the playoffs. I don't know. But the part where it's murky is that land is going up for auction on June 27th. So why not just wait till June 27th and see? I mean, there was that report out, it was yesterday or the day before, that there's a schedule with the Coyotes in Arizona and a schedule with the Coyotes in Utah. Both are ready to go. If you have those, I don't know why you wouldn't wait till June 27th and see how this plays out first.
What have you heard from Utah? We're going to talk with some sports guys from Utah later on in this hour and find out kind of what their vibe is. What have you heard? I mean, are they lobbying? Are they putting are they doing the, well, it'd be full court press in basketball. Are they? No, they're not guarding the blue line. Are they?
Forecheck?
I guess that would be.
It's about as close as we can get.
Are they going to dump and chase on this one?
I like that.
I'm trying
icing,
something.
A little icing.
Yeah, toss it up the river, huh? A little biscuit in the basket.
You didn't tell me this was going to be a hockey show.
Oh, yeah, we'll head it right up there. Everybody get your sticks on the river.
All right, let's go, boys.
Yeah,
let's do this.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
All right. I don't remember what the question was, but I think it was about Utah.
Yeah.
Just say some hockey phrases.
Are they lobbying? Are they pushing for this? Are they more interested in having the Coyotes in Salt Lake than what Arizona is in keeping them here?
I don't honestly think so. I mean,
Okay.
I think they have a guy with a lot of money who is smart in the sense that he looked and he's like, man, they just cannot, like, I just said this 10 times over on our show. I feel like I'm repeating myself. This should have gotten done last May with the Tempe vote. To me, if this team leaves, that's why they left. And Joe knows my stance on this. At least we have a landfill that we now have to pay to clean up, and we lose a professional sports team for no reason at all.
And you don't have any taxes coming in off that. No sales taxes, no development, no nothing.
That deal, and I've done a lot of research on this in the years since, just for my own headspace on it, was a great deal for the city. Now it doesn't even matter, and I'm telling you from talking to people that have nothing to do with hockey, we're going to all have to pay to clean up a landfill as we lose our hockey team. That to me is where this team was lost if they end up leaving. To answer your question, I think Utah they just have a guy with a lot of money who was opportunistic and has good timing. I don't think they're like upset about it, but I don't think this is like a team going to some huge hockey hotbed.
Luke Lapinski from Arizona Sports 98.7 with us, co-host of the Wolf and Luke Show, talking about the possibility that the Coyotes relocate to Salt Lake City. You've been an employee with the Coyotes for 10 plus years. You know a number of the other people who work over there, players over there. What is the mood of people in that building? What is your mood? What are your emotions like? This is not the first, second, or third time we've talked about the Coyotes could leave. How exhausted of all of this are you? Like, what is it like every couple of years to know that, hey, Chris and Joe want to talk to me, and once again, it's the Coyotes not winning a Stanley Cup, but what is their future in the Valley?
I just like that you guys want to talk to me, and if they leave, I don't know that you'll want to talk to me anymore. No,
we'll find something to talk to you about. Hockey phrases with Luke.
Expansion.
Today.
Maybe we'll talk about expansion for 3 years. It's a good question. We had their head coach Andre Tourigny on today, and we asked him, when this rumor first started, they were in a playoff spot and they proceeded to lose 14 in a row.
Yeah.
So we asked him, like, how much of an impact was this on your team? And he was like, look, it has been, but as a player and as a coach, you sign up knowing you might get traded or fired or whatever. He immediately redirected it to people that work around the arena, to people that work loosely with the team, like an equipment manager. I mean, certainly to writers, broadcasters, all these people who are going to lose their jobs. And yes, I do work over there, and I love that job, and I grew up playing hockey, and I love it, and it's going to suck, and I'm probably not going to be real happy for a while. Yeah. But it's not my only job. A lot of people over there, it's their only job, and you're changing people's lives. I just keep coming back to this. I feel like this was avoidable, and there's anybody online that's like cheering this on, you have no perspective. People are losing their jobs over this for something they didn't do wrong. And if you're in Utah and you're like, hey, we're getting a team, I understand that. But if you're in Winnipeg cheering this on because you have no life, I don't really understand where that comes from.
But I don't think. What are they cheering other than just rooting for the demise of something?
Yes, they're rooting for the demise. That's been going with the Coyotes for 10 years from out of market fans who don't think there should be hockey in the desert.
Oh, I see. So they're just mad about hockey in the desert.
That's been building for 15
They lost
years.
their team to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not just Winnipeg.
Yeah, no, but Winnipeg has a team now, right?
It's not good
They do.
enough. Even though that team's really good and might win the Stanley Cup, it's still not good enough for them. Yeah.
All right. Luke Lapinski from Wolf and Luke Show, Arizona Sports 98.7. Great to talk to you, man. Thanks for coming on the program. We love talking sports. We love having you in here. So thank you. We appreciate you.
Thanks for watching the Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.